Welcome back to my animal education series. Today we're here at Shawn Wright Reptiles, and here I have a coastal carpet python. These guys are super amazing and beautiful snakes. These guys can be found in New Guinea, Australia, and Indonesia. And there are 4 different subspecies of these snakes. This one specifically, as I mentioned, is the coastal carpet python. And they have beautiful colorations depending on what subspecies or region they are from. They can be found in forest regions, arid grasslands, and the ones with the grasslands are going to have typically a brighter color like this with some greens and olive colors in it. And the ones that are in the forest are going to have a darker olive or black and brown colorations like that. These guys are ambush predators, so they will typically hide up in the trees or down on the ground depending on subspecies again. And primarily they'll eat small rodents, and sometimes they'll eat reptiles and birds. They depend on range, again, from the subspecies, but sometimes they can get from 6 up to 12 feet, but 12 feet is pretty rare for these guys out in the wild. These snakes are super cool, and one of the main characteristics of the carpet python, besides their beautiful coloration, is their very triangular head. I'll try to show you real quick. One of the main characteristics of the carpet python is their triangular shaped head. I just think that's super cool, and besides their amazing colorations, one of the main things I first notice whenever I look at a carpet python. And also, if you get really close to their face, you can see their heat-seeking pits on their bottom jaw, which really helps them look and search out for potential prey. And back to their awesome coloration, all these little splotches and everything kind of helps them hide in the forest when only a little bit of sunlight actually makes it to the forest floor or onto various branches. These guys can really hide there and not even be seen by any predators that could eat them, like various birds of prey or other larger mammals that would try to eat them. So these guys are slightly sexually dimorphic when they're adults. The females can be up to 4 times heavier than an adult male and are typically longer than an adult male. But while they're younger and grown up, you typically can't tell the difference unless you know how to properly sex them, which I do not, so I will not describe that to you. The gestation period for these guys is typically between 90 and 110 days, and the female will actually wrap around the eggs, and she'll look for a place in a log or a place with a lot of leaves and a lot of cover to lay her eggs, and she will typically have around 20 or 25 eggs from what I read. And that's a lot of eggs, but obviously out in the wild, a lot of these babies are not going to survive till adulthood, so with reptiles, having a lot of babies, it kind of increases your odds of passing your species and your genetics along. But the females will wrap around the eggs, as I mentioned before, and actually defend the nest until the babies are born, and then it's every man for themselves, and she will just kind of leave all the babies there to fend for themselves. Here I have another coastal carpet python that Shawn Wright has, and you can see just between the 2 coastals right here that the coloration is very different, and how it would help blend into the natural environment is all the darker colors, and this one's a lot darker than this one here. Not as much of a brighter green or a bright olive that this one has here. But these are just incredible looking snakes. Someday I definitely want to have a couple of these guys at my place. But maybe one day Shawn will breed these guys and I can totally buy a couple of them off of him. I would totally love to do that someday. But thank you guys so much for watching this week's video. Don't forget to leave a big thumbs up down below, subscribe to my channel, and as always, I'll see you next week.